Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's going on, Fantasy Champs? Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon with me as always. What's poppin', Rick?
What's up?
Today we have the Thursday night preview show, so we're back at it. Last week was Thanksgiving. We previewed a lot of crap, a lot of football. But we're back to one game. Normal schedule till the end of the year, pretty much until like Christmas, really. And then you're gonna get like 7 games all at different times, and I'm gonna be confused as crap.
Yep.
But Thursday night preview should be interesting for the rest of the season. Before we jump into that, check out our website, fantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any other podcasting platforms, please leave a review and share this pod with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications, like, and comment down below any questions you may have. Last week was fun for football. I think Rick and I both picked the 49ers for the game on Thursday night and got it correct.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So you are now 11-1, kid.
Yeah,
I'm 8-4.
I feel like that's
So
bound
suck,
to
but I like to take these risks.
Hey, I took the risk in week 1 that got it started.
Oh, against the Lions?
I took the Lions. You took the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, dumb people do dumb things sometimes.
No, it wasn't a dumb pick. I think it was just
a
little bit of luck on my part on that one.
Yeah, shooting the dock. You just wanted to root for the Lions. You wanted to root for Jahmyr Gibbs to get no carries.
Yeah.
But anyway, back at it, Week 13. We're kicking off the breakdown of Week 13 content here with the Seahawks at the Dallas Cowboys. So the Seahawks travel on the road to get in a much-needed game. I think they have a winning record, correct?
I think they're 6-5.
Okay, this is a very big game for them.
Are 6-5. Yep.
They got to win it in order to keep themselves in that playoff contention. Obviously, they still would be if they lose, but this would help along the way. Dallas, very good football team. The over/under is 46.5 points. You taking the over or the under, Rick?
What do you think? 46.5?
Yes, sir.
That's a tough one. I'll take the over.
Okay.
Seahawks are usually under, though.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
Okay, you're probably right.
Yeah. That's like 45.5 is a lot. In Seattle doesn't.
46.5 or 45?
Sorry, I said 45.5 by accident. 46.5 is a lot.
It is a lot. The Cowboys have just been like putting up 30 points a week, though.
That is true. So I'll take the over.
I'm leaning the under now, so I think that's a good line.
Yeah, I think Seattle can score more than 16, no? Maybe I'll take the under.
But 20, 24, 21.
Yeah, let's do the under. Let's do the under. I'll change my mind too. For the third time.
Okay.
In 5 seconds. Anyway, yeah, so Seattle at Dallas should be an interesting game. Let's go into the road team to start, break down some of these positional matchups that we got, and start with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, last week, obviously, Seattle was on Thursday Night Football going up against the 49ers, and the 49ers won pretty handedly, correct? Or was that close? I can't remember.
No, I think I don't think it was close.
But anyway, Geno sucked. So
31-13.
Yeah, Geno did not have a good game for fantasy production against the 49ers. This week against Dallas doesn't get any easier. So if you have Geno and you were contemplating a good old start, I'd say no. Yeah,
I would agree with you on that. Geno's pretty much not a start to me rest of the season, except maybe week 15 against Philly.
Fair enough. I did want to pull up the, so people who are tempted to start Geno just to watch him. 'Cause that's always a thing on Thursday night football games. Not San Francisco. Dallas gives up somewhere in the vicinity of 15 points a game to the quarterback position. Geno has been underperforming average statistics, so this could be a brutal game for him in terms of fantasy points, which means that you shouldn't be starting him. All right, let's move to the running back position. You have a splitsies. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet, I would say, is, he has had good fantasy performances without without Kenneth Walker in the game. But against Dallas, I'd sit Charbonnet. If Kenneth Walker, let's say one of these guys is the feature back. Kenneth Walker comes back, he's going to be the feature back. Or Zach Charbonnet, if he ends up being the number one back, if Kenneth Walker is out. Do you want to start either one of these guys individually if they're the only guy in the backfield getting the opportunity?
Not really, because they're matchups, but I think if Walker comes back, you probably are starting him, are you not?
Yeah, I mean, he's been producing like that.
Yeah, I think Walker's you probably start, but you don't feel good about it. And then Charbonnet, if he's by himself, you could start him if you need to, but I wouldn't, again.
I have Zach Charbonnet.
Don't feel good about that one either. Right. Charbonnet, he got 10 points against the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if he's by himself and Walker misses another week, then I would probably expect about 10 points. So if that's what you need, you just need a plug and play at running back or flex, whatever, 10 points, fine, then do it. But if you think you can get more than that, don't do it.
Yeah, Dallas gets 15.1, gives up 15.1 fantasy points per game to the running back position, which is one of the toughest matchups. But if Kenneth Walker really is the only guy besides DJ Dallas who gets opportunity, it might be okay. I mean, Zach Charbonnet, I should say, not Kenneth Walker. Then it might be okay to play him, like Rick said.
Yeah.
But Walker, I think, is just a go no matter what, despite schedule. He's like the Mike Evans of the running back position. These tough games that make you feel bad. You're like, crap, that's not good. But he might still do well. So it is Thursday night football. We'll see. But I just don't. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a great game for either one of these guys, even if you start them. So buyer beware. Wide receiver position, you got Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and DK Metcalf. Rick yelled at me for not mentioning Smith and Jigba's name, so I brought him up this time.
Outscored Tyler Lockett by 0.1 fantasy point.
How many points was that?
6.1.
Sweet. All right, so
Lockett had 6, and Metcalf had 6.2.
Oh my god, dude!
That's actually hilarious. Metcalf had 6.2, JSN had 6.1, and Tyler Lockett had 6.
So very bad game against the 49ers for all of them, which is kind of what we talked about. Dallas don't get any easier. What are you doing with any one of these three guys?
I'm not starting any of them except maybe Metcalf.
Yeah, I agree. I think Metcalf has the explosive upside to have like a 20-point game. Whereas and Lockett might have that. I don't think JSN
and Metcalf still gets 9 targets. He only had 3 catches for 30 yards, but he had 9 targets. He still gets the targets. Mm-hmm. Lockett had 5 targets, and then JSN only had 3 targets. But JSN also had a one-handed, ridiculous catch. So
Dallas gives up 22
points. Is about the same.
Dallas gives up 22.8 to the wide receiver position. So, tough matchup, very tough matchup for 3 guys. You might get another split of 6 to 8 points a game.
The only guy I'd be willing to start is Metcalf. I would say.
Totally agree. At the tight end position, there's Noah Fant, and he is basically worthless.
Funds.
So nobody at the tight end position for Seattle.
A lot of exciting Seahawks players, huh?
Yeah. They're just so there's no guy on the team that's truly matchup proof.
Yeah, they're just mid.
Besides maybe Metcalf.
Geno came back down to earth this year.
Yeah, Geno came back down to earth, so. I mean, he's still good. He's still better than old Geno. That's for sure.
He is better than old Geno, but he's not last year. He was literally statistically a top 6th or 7th quarterback in the NFL.
Not even just statistically, dude was he looked like one too. He was throwing dots.
He was.
Anyway, all right. Let's talk about the quarterback position for the Dallas Cowboys and shift to Dallas. Seattle, a little bit. They're not the easiest matchup for teams, but they certainly aren't tough. So at the quarterback position, Seattle is right in the middle of the pack, giving up 16 points per game. They rank 15th, easiest matchup. So like middle of the pack for them at the quarterback position. Obviously, you have Dak Prescott. Prescott's been cooking lately. He's obviously a go. What are your expectations for Thursday Night Football for Dak?
I'm going to say he's been on such a tear that I think I'm not going to say he slows down this week, but I don't like he's coming off a 32-point game for 4-point touchdown.
Yeah, 32 something.
Yeah, 36 in our league.
Oh.
So 32 it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So against Seattle, I'd say I'm expecting about 20 fantasy points.
Okay.
Which is still
I would agree. I do tend to be leery, of Thursday Night Football. So, it might not be he might not exceed his projected output.
2 touchdowns for 240 yards or something like that. I could see.
Yeah. So he'll be all right. He'll be all right for the game because it's a mediocre matchup. Just don't anticipate him getting 40. All right, Tony Pollard. We're back from outer space.
Oh.
Yeah, so Pollard comes back. Now he's had a couple of weeks here where he's been okay. He had 18 against Carolina, finally getting a touchdown, and then he scores another touchdown the following week and gets 22, getting 76% of the snaps.
He really looks like, because I'm looking at his season.
Yep.
When he plays a good matchup, outside of the Giants game, he's done good.
Yep.
When he has a bad matchup, he does bad.
Yay! That's fun. He does have an easier stretch of games down the end of the season.
He does.
I just really can't do that Philly game in Week 14 because I have him.
Yep.
Makes my heart hurt a little bit. But he's playing Seattle this week. Seattle, 23 points a game to the running back position, top 4 easy matchup. So
let the Pollard wave.
Come on, Pollard. I need those fantasy points. Biggest week of my season, fella.
Let Pollard wave ride.
Yeah, so he should be okay for this game. But, Dallas, dude, they just get in the red area and they're like, we don't know what to do. Throw it.
Yeah, he did have another touchdown this week.
We're on the 1 yard line. Should we run it? No. Let Dak throw it 4 times.
Here we go.
Set.
That's annoying.
Okay,
here we go.
I hate this football team. I'm not gonna lie. I can't stand watching them. I have to watch them every week because every season.
Bro, what happened?
I like CeeDee Lamb. I like Tony Pollard, and I hate everyone else.
I just hate the Cowboys.
It's because Dak's the biggest dink in the history of dinks.
I just can't. I hate Mike McCarthy. I hate the Cowboys as a franchise. I hate Jerry Jones. I just hate everything about it. So
yeah, but Tony Pollard, good start this week. Sorry, Dallas Cowboys fans. They just got so triggered. They're like,
they hate. Everybody hates them.
I'm sorry. Your stadium's ginormous. Your football team is good right now. But how many Super Bowls you have?
It's a good thing when everyone hates you.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's talk about the wide receiver position. We have 2 guys that you probably can think about starting this week: CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Obviously, my dog CD is a dude that you're probably going to play.
3 in all fantasy. I would hope you're playing the wide receiver 3 in all fantasy.
Yeah. The Seahawks give up 29.2 fantasy points per game to the wide receiver position, so they're an easier matchup for wide receivers. So if you have Brandon Cooks and you want to do it, you need to flex. He's a shot play, but
it is certainly a shot.
Shot in the dark. You're thinking to get 1 or 15.
Personally, I would not do it.
If there's a time to do it, though, it's probably Seattle.
Yeah, it's not bad, but he has a better next week's Philly. That's technically a better matchup. But he only had 1 point against Philly last time they played. So I don't know.
Yeah, so
I guess I would do it, but he's so up and down that he's
it's a boom play. It's I don't have anyone else to start here, so I'm
definitely a boom play.
Yeah. But CeeDee Lamb
spots, 12-team league, and you have injuries in bye weeks.
CeeDee Lamb should be a go, and I think it'll be a good game for him.
for sure.
If they target him, freaking
He ever since the bye week, he at worst gets 9 targets,
which is good.
He'll be fine.
But sometimes Dak would rather target the ball boy.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. All right, the tight end position, the last position we'll talk about before we make our picks for this game. Jake Ferguson has been out there running around, doing stuff maybe. Some weeks not.
He's still 12, though.
He had a stretch of games where he had, after the bye, 14, 22, 12, and then he dropped down to 6 and 4. And his snap percentages have kind of hovered around that 60%, 65 to 70% rate. But his target share has dropped significantly over the last 3 weeks. So I don't know if that continues to happen or he stays at 3-4 targets or he goes back up to 7, 8, 9 targets. But going up against Seattle this week, I don't want to take the risk and find out. So
I would agree with you, but call it a hunch, call it a feeling.
He's going to catch a touchdown.
I'm feeling a touchdown this week from Jake Ferguson.
I was getting the same feeling.
You know, I had that kind of crazy parlay hunch, and I put it together on Thanksgiving, and I almost won like $120 on a $5 bet. The thing that didn't hit was the Lions money line, and they were a 10-point favorite.
Oh my god!
But I had Sam Laporta touchdown.
Oh, so that was supposed to be the easy thing.
I had like I had Montgomery touchdown, and I had Jared Goff over 250 yards. All those hit. But my parlay lost because the Lions suck.
A single tear sheds down my cheek. I lost all 3 of my parlays, so.
I noticed randomly, I'm like the only person in the world, I feel like, when it comes to this, but I'm better at DraftKings lineups than I am at parlays.
Really?
Yeah. I'm for some reason decent at DraftKings lineups.
I haven't done one all year because they allowed sports betting, so all I do is the parlays, dude. I don't even touch.
I haven't done a lineup in a couple weeks, but I think I'm going to switch back to it because my parlays are
crap.
I'm always like I hit 3 of the 4 or 4 of the 5 or like I just never get it completely.
It's because it's always risky one.
I hit 1 parlay in my last like 8.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Yeah.
Okay, don't take betting advice from Rick. I've learned that today.
Hey, my DraftKings lineups though.
All right. So Rick is 11-1 on the season, picking Thursday night football games. I am 8-4. This one should be interesting. Dallas should be the team that wins. That should be what happens. But who you taking?
This is actually tough for me. I think the Seahawks need this game. It's a game they have to win.
Yep.
But I just don't see them winning it. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Okay. I'm going to take the Seahawks. This is probably a bad decision. I'm going to end up 8-5, but let's do it.
I don't think it. This is a game where Seattle is going to play very hard.
Yeah.
Because they have San Francisco and Philly the 2 weeks after.
This is truly a game where you're going to find out if the Cowboys are overrated. Because it's finally like a tough match. It's like not a tough matchup, but like one of those like sneaky tough matchups where it's like Seattle could come out with some stuff here.
Seattle's like a 9-win team, so I mean that's 9 maybe 10-win team.
And Dallas just doesn't. They can't find out how to win against teams that have winning records.
So. Here we go.
Yeah, thank God I have to listen to that on Thursday again. All right, there you go. Any more thoughts on this game?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, there you go. Thursday night preview in the books. We're glad to get this in your ears and in your brain in 19 minutes. There you go. But anyway, we still have trade targets. We still have starts and sits coming up for later in the week. Your trade deadlines are here, so be sure to check those out. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.